Hello, my dear! Welcome back to my channel. This is Mommy E, your favorite grandma. On this episode, we are going to continue our series on India. And this is a request of this Motherland Defense. The video is Vikrant Stories 1961-1997. Documentary, military, motivational. Guys, let's do this! One, two, three. Motherland Defense presents Vikrant Stories, 1961 to 1997.
I would say Vikrant was a unique ship, and even though today we have bigger and more sophisticated ships, I think there will never be another Vikrant.
Air Force is there to show the air power on land, but INS Vikrant showed the country's air power at sea.
Floating airfield, floating city, powerful weapon. You can use any of these adjectives to describe Vikrant.
In the context of Vikrant, no word fits better than pride.
Every time I went ashore and I was introduced, he's the pilot of Vikrant. It is not the pilot part, it is the Vikrant part.
Vikrant, in one word, mother.
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 When the ship is at sea and the pilot's got a very small deck to land on, it's like coming on mother's arms, you know.
His son's duty is to make his mother proud, and the Vikrant Squadron did it with care.
Flying from the aircraft carrier. Differentiates the men from the boys. Flying from the aircraft carrier.
The squadron which was based on Vikrant, that is the 300 squadron. In the early 60s, it was a very rare, it was the only fighter squadron in this part of the whole world to fly from an aircraft carrier. So the crest that they chose for it was a rare breed of tiger called the white tiger. On the ship, on Vikrant, the catapult was only 120 feet or so.
You don't have a runway. Please understand, there is no runway.
From zero speed, you would go to 130-40 miles per hour. Acceleration forces would drain the blood out of your head.
Because you are actually thrown out of the aircraft carrier. It is after you're thrown out that you catch hold of the control column and you start flying. And coming back to land on it. You don't have a big runway to land on. You've got to pluck one of those wires. Otherwise, you are in the drink. You are in the sea. But now, in this excited atmosphere of a catapult takeoff and an arrestor landing, you have now superimposed the scenario of war on it. How to avoid the enemy radar. So you have to go low. You go hugging the water level, go low, see the target, pull up, drop your bombs and your rockets onto the target, pull out, and then come back to the ship and land.
Therefore, all our training, got evolved around an attack on Bangladesh. Chittagong and Khulna, they were pretty solid anti-aircraft fire.
Some bullets whizzed past the pilot's head. The windshields were shattered. They couldn't see outside.
When I said about, we found that there were a couple of bullet holes in the wings and this, that, and the other. Whilst we were flying, we never felt it.
I don't think it really mattered to, the 300 squadron. Our job was to attack and we attacked.
It is amazing how the ship performed with a very determined ship and equally determined aircrew.
So we always had that sense of pride in ourselves that we had learned to do something which was extremely difficult. Your flying had to be very accurate, your nerves had to be very strong. So that sense of pride stays with you always, even till today. I wear my squadron tie with a sense of pride.
The Flying Squadron. Yeah, they are brave hearts.
It was war. You really need to be in it to understand it.
We've been told that Pakistan had declared war. They'd attacked our Air Force bases. A lot of refugees or people displaced from Bangladesh were flooding India.
War is not something we really look forward to. But if it had to happen, it had to happen, and we were there when it happened.
The major war, according to me, was before the war. Vikrant was not operational.
She was not completely battle-worthy. She had serious problems with the engines, and many people felt that she should not take part in the war.
We were flying 1 hour a month, whereas we should be flying 20 hours a month. There was nothing right with the ship or the aircraft or the pilots.
And then we worked up. We worked up our armament, we worked up our navigation, we worked up everything. We got the squadron together. And then came the news that we actually were going to war.
And the ship sailed out and headed towards Bangladesh. Finally, we were attacking Chittagong from 70 miles, 80 miles.
You got those bombs under your wings, you got those rockets under your wings, you got the control column with all the switches to drop your bombs and fire your guns.
Chittagong, we really, blasted them. Then there was Khulna, Chalna, which got attacked by us again over a period of time.
And people became wise to the fact that we heard Vikrant's name on the air. With that came more accurate firing against the aircraft.
When you see the bullets coming at you very slowly, and then suddenly, they go past you.
I had bullet holes, 7 or 8 of them, and which rendered the aircraft unsafe at high speeds.
We were also prepared. Our aircraft will get damaged, we will pull the blind, that means eject, a parachute will open, we will land anywhere. And anything can happen to us.
The environment on Vikrant was of heavy excitement.
When we came back from a sortie, we first went to the senior pilot or the squadron commander, when are you sending me up again?
The ground crew would not go down to the best decks to sleep. They would sleep under their own aircraft. They wanted their aircraft to fly. 1,300 people on one ship and then escort ships along with it. I have one mission, and for which we have rehearsed again and again.
We wanted to make sure that we were there, serving the nation. And actually, at the end of the day, it was serving the nation, serving the country.
From the stage when there were no pilots operational, no aircraft available, the ship itself limping, we won the war. And Vikrant played a no mean part at all, a very, very prominent part.
I had a Mayday colleague.
I went nose down over the deck.
Mayday, Mayday, Mayday.
That's it.
I felt a huge judder. So I looked and I saw that my right wing was staring at me. My number 3 had gone into me in the left-hand turn. So I told flying control, I've had a mid-air. So they said, what? I remember the flying control guy. He said, Sina, सुबह पिया तो नहीं है? अरे नहीं, I'm seeing this was 1,200 feet, going down to 11. But as I turned, my wing fell off. And I went into a spin at 650 feet. I ejected and got out of the aircraft. Suddenly, from a lot of noise, total silence. Then I hit the water with my hand on my life vest. But I hit the water and it started getting dark. And it got darker. And I said, hell, I should be seeing some light. It got darker. And I kept going down. Then I realized that I'm going down instead of. So I started doing my checks, starting from your feet round. And I realized that my hand had frozen due to the shock on my life vest. So I hadn't pulled it.
On the rollout, I found that the catapult was not operating to its full capacity. So I let the aircraft roll, hoping that by the end of the 108-foot run, I would get the airspeed that was required, which I didn't. Went nose down over the deck and went into the water vertically, and the ship was moving forward at its maximum speed. In fact, the ship hit me as I went over and made my angle of entry into the water even steeper. I knew the ship was over me. The cockpit filled up with water. It was pretty dark inside, but I waited till I knew I had reached the correct depth. And on ejection, I came out, but as soon as I came out, I hit the bottom section of the ship. My helmet was smashed because of the suction effect of the ship. I was stuck to the ship and moving slowly back. You have big propellers at the back. But the captain of the ship, he took the right action. He went full astern on main engines. So that upset the suction effect, and I was released from the ship's side. The Vikrant carried out extensive trials, catapult trials in Bombay. And I did the full trials of the catapult myself, prove it before anyone else did any operations from the ship.
Came ashore, doctor said, bed. I said, no, I'm fine. He said, you're not fine, you rest. So he checked me out, he said, no injury. I came down today, the next day I was down, and the day after that, up again, flying first sortie. That's something you can't forget.
He's so brave.
I resigned because I felt that after having commanded a ship like Vikrant, I don't think I could ever get another appointment which would give me such high as this ship gave.
The last signal.
When Naval Headquarters told me that I am being appointed as a captain and the ship will be decommissioned, it came as a shocker to me. I had to bid adieu to the entire fleet, to command, to the dockyard who served the ship. Then I thought of this idea of sending out a signal to everybody who were part of Vikrant during our operational days and maintenance time. So this was a signal which I sent out on the last day, which was addressed from Vikrant to the fleet, to the CNC of the command, to the dockyard admiral, and the ships which were there in the fleet at that time. And I'll read it out. In a few hours from now, I will come to rest. But in these 36 years, I think I did my best. For my fleet and the Navy, I earned great name. That's why they call me the Lady of Khulna fame. Now I'm going to bid adieu. And with all the good wishes coming from you, though I will be striking down the pennant from the main, I do hope, Vikrant, will be back soon again.
In 2014, truly, those stories firsthand from the mouth of those brave officers of INS Vikrant are so motivational, especially for our young men and women of uniform regardless of country, or not only in India, I think. What is the INS Vikrant? Actually, I didn't have any idea when this was requested to me. But here, I will just read the description of Motherland Defense about the INS Vikrant. INS Vikrant was a Majestic class aircraft carrier of the Indian Navy. The ship was laid down as HMS Hercules for the British Royal Navy during World War II. But construction was put on hold when the war ended. India purchased the incomplete carrier in 1957, and construction was completed in 1961. Vikrant was commissioned as the first aircraft carrier of the Indian Navy and played a key role in enforcing the naval blockade of East Pakistan during the Indo-Pakistani War of 1971. The INS Vikrant was decommissioned, and it was just preserved as a museum, and as was noted on the last part of the video, the carrier was ripped apart in 2014. You see, I like that quotation. We don't look forward to wars, but we have to, when we have to. If we are going to defend our sovereignty, our country, we have to. So, it's a good thing to strengthen our military. Guys, if you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber yet, please hit that red button. And thank you for watching. See you on my next reaction.